Okay, so let's take a look at how you can create PostgreSQL instance in Cloud SQL of Google Cloud Platform. So make sure to sign up to Google Cloud during the free tier. You can test out this service. In my case, I have like 89 days and some free credits left. So I'll be going to view all products, right? And then we will go to Cloud SQL. You can also access that from menu products, then all products. Either one of the options should work. Now once we go to that tab, here we will have to wait for it to load all the services. It's pretty long list, so it takes a bit of time to load everything. Now let's say we have databases. Here we will click on SQL. Now in particular SQL page, you will find it will show you create instance with your free credits. Click on that, and here you will have to choose your database engine. Considering this is PostgreSQL, we have option to choose version, which is 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9.6. There isn't any specific LTS version or so pick the one recent and stable. Click on choose PostgreSQL. This will take you to another page where we are going to list all the options, right? So it all starts with the instance. So here I'll be selecting the instance ID. So I will type in instance ID as dev postgres. If it's available, it won't cause any error. Then comes your password. So you have to paste your password or you can generate. As far as generating goes, you will have to choose password policy, right? Like enable password policies, then you can set minimum length, complexity, password reuse, and disallow names, etc. and so on. I will uncheck this because I just want to use my own password. And then I will be pasting that password here in the text field. Next comes the database version, which is PostgreSQL 14. Here you see PostgreSQL 14. You can select that. Then comes choose configuration to start with, right? So there is a production option and development option. So production you choose when you want to do it for business and you want to deploy a good database. Then comes development, where you have to choose the development option for testing or so purpose. You can also configure more options here, and here you get the idea that what production would contain and what development would contain. Next comes choosing region and zones. So in case of region, you will select the region, let's say Asia. In my case, I will be choosing Mumbai. You will notice this green icons, basically for low emission or data centers will be listed there. So we'll be selecting, let's say, region closer to me. Then zones are basically something you will use if you have specific needs. Let's say you have business that would require multiple zones, so that it will be available and there won't be much of issues for load. You can also specify zones there. Right, now let's move on to customizing our instance. You can also customize configurations later, but it's better to do it now. So machine wise, I want to choose 2 and 8, but if you want, you can choose between shared core, which will reduce the CPU and memory, and database, also reduce it to lightweight so that you can reduce the CPU and memory. Then also you can do the same for standard, where you have this 2 CPU 8 GB or high memory. Then in that case you can manually go from 1 to 96 and 3.75 to 13, right? So in my case I will just stick to 2 and 8. You can also pick this 16 vCPU and 104, that's also available in options. Then comes storage. I will choose the SSD, but I will reduce the storage capacity. I will have enable automatic storage increase option enabled. If you want HDD, you can do so. Now let's go with encryption. We don't need any for now, so we'll let Google manage that. Then comes connection. This is important because we need to have all the IP ranges access this network. So I will name this all network, and let's give it 0000 and then /0. It will contain all the IPs within network. Then comes data protection. Can choose automatic backup. This option enable delete protection. I will be removing that because I'm using it for test purpose and I want to delete it without any protection. There is also automate backups. Can choose the time when the backups will happen. Then there is point in time recovery. I will enable that. Also I can choose number of days for log. Then comes maintenance. You can choose the maintenance window, Saturday, Sunday, choose the day, then order, early, later, and any order would do. Then comes flag for your aspects of instance. Then query insight for telemetry options. Then comes labels for your organization of SQL instance. So this is something you should do if you are managing multiple resources. Finally, we will have to click on create instance. Once we create that, we'll create an instance of dev postgres instance ID and it will be visible in our instances. Right, I will click on create instance and let it proceed. On the right you will see it is in process to create the server. Right, we will be build accordingly obviously, and it will take around 5 minutes or so for entire server to start. This is just the dashboard that it will be shown to us, and the status will be completely green once the server starts. Now here at the bottom you will see that your instance is created. You can dismiss all of this and you want to take it below. Right now here you see instance is runnable. Now the things we need is public IP address and connection name. So whenever you are creating specific application which requires connection name, this is what you will use. Now next thing, we will be moving to connections. This is where we will be adding few things. For example, networking. We already managed one thing which is public IP and also added all the IP address using this 000/0 option. Right, then we also saved that part. Next is moving to security, because this is what we need to do. We have to click on allow only SSL connections. We will then download the certificate. So we will click on allow only SSL, click save. So this will save the connection. It will again go through the update, and here you'll see once it is runnable again, that means we have our changes saved, and after that I can download the SSL. Once it is enabled and instance become runnable, we can go and download the certificate. Here you see this is the file that we downloaded. I can go and copy it into safe place. Right, so let's say I saved it in one of the drives in its root. Right, so after that we will move here, and then from this point onwards we are ready to connect to the same using external tools. We also have our CPU utilization started. Now whenever we make some sort of transaction, it will show the results on the CPU utilization part. You will also find the databases tab here which will be visible. Now here let's see, if I want to create a database, I will have to click on create database. Right, so I will type in mydb as the database name, click on create, it will appear here. The default Postgres, you should let it stay as is and no need to mess that up. You also find your newly created database listed here. Now that you have created also database, you can also try to access this database from external tool, do the work as required and use it for your application also. Right, so everything you wanted to do is done with these steps. Now you can go ahead and access your newly created PostgreSQL instance from tools like, let's say, dbeaver, Azure Data Studio. You can also use pgadmin, db visualizer, table plus, and even use cloud shell at the top to access the same.